All right, everyone. This is the first part of our Helen Frankenthaler abstract picture. And the first thing that you're going to need to do is get yourself like a paper towel, because this is going to be messy. You're going to need 2 pieces of white paper, the same size. So if you're using the paper from your notebook, make sure you pull out 2 pieces of paper. And you are going to need a piece of plastic bag, and I took a grocery bag and I cut it in half, and I'm going to use 1 half for this project and 1 half for another project. So after you've cut it in half, you might want to hang on to the other piece for a later project. All right, you also are going to need your Crayola markers. Okay, Crayola markers. These Crayola markers are washable markers. They're essentially made out of like watercolors. And they're going to work perfectly for what we're going to do today, especially for those of us who don't actually have watercolor paint sets. This is kind of an alternative way to do the same project that would be with paint. All right, I'm going to do 2 different things here. The first thing I want to do is pull out all my warm colors. So I'm going to pull red, and I'm going to pull orange, and I'm going to pull yellow. Okay, in this particular group of markers that I have here, I think maybe I have 2 different color oranges there. I'm not real sure, but it looks like 2 different color oranges, and maybe this little peach color. All the rest of this, pink maybe, if you have pink. All the rest of this needs to be put to the side and out of our way. Okay, so I'm going to start with those colors, and I have my bag. I'm using the inside of my bag so that I don't get this ink that's on the outside of the bag on my paper. So I'm using the inside. I've spread my bag out, and I'm going to take my watercolor markers, and I'll start with red. And I'm going to color like big shapes on the bag. And you'll notice as you do that the color kind of beads up a little bit. It doesn't really go on super smooth, and that's fine. That's what we want to happen. So I'm going to put color. I want to cover as much of the plastic bag as I can, so that when I lay my piece of paper on it, it will it'll cover all the marker. Okay, so you might want to measure before you put the marker down how much space you have to cover. Make sure you cover your paper. So. And I'm going to, as I'm coloring here my different shapes, I'll probably repeat the colors that I have in my hand. Just want to, and you can actually put the color on top of each other. That's okay. It'll blend, or it'll kind of blend as it, when we do the next step. Maybe this peach color right here. Okay. As you can see, I'm covering a lot of space. I'm filling it up. Let me kind of zoom out a little bit so that you can see. There you go. Zoom out. Try to stay flat with keep the plastic bag flat as you're going. All right. almost done. Okay, there we go. I got a big square of lots of shapes of colors. It colored it all in. So, I'm sorry. I timed out. I hate when that does that, but it does it, and I can't see where I'm at. There we go. Now, I'm going to take either, you can take either like a some kind of plastic cup, put some water in it, and then, or you can use a spray bottle, which is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to spray my where I colored on the plastic bag. Before you do this, you probably want to ask Mom, Dad, Grandma, whoever is around, where a good place is for you to do this, because it gets wet and it gets messy. Okay, so after I've sprayed my watercolor, then I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to lay my paper on top of it. Okay, and I'm going to start rubbing. Okay, now let me zoom in so you can see what's happening. See how the paper is absorbing the water as I'm rubbing on it? That's what we want to happen. We want that piece of paper to soak up all that water. Okay, and it doesn't take rubbing hard. It just lightly get it all on there. Okay, then once you've done that, once you've got it all on there, then you peel back your paper and you have painted paper. And not only painted paper with some texture and design in it from the wrinkles in the plastic. All right, so I've got all my warm colors on there. Again, warm colors are reds, yellows, oranges, pink, all those warm colors. And I want to take this and I want to set it off to the side. And then I'm going to take my paper towel and wipe off my plastic bag. Okay, get all that marker off that was on there before. That's if there's any left. And the water. I want to wipe it off and dry it up a little bit. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my warm colors, which are greens, purples. I have two different greens here, and blues. Greens, purples, blues. All right, now you can use any of the watercolor or markers that you have that are those three colors. All right, and then again, we're going to take our markers and we're going to start coloring on the plastic. Make nice big shapes. Okay. Now this part, the green part, the cool colors are going to be for our stems and our leaves of the Frankenthaler flowers that we're going to do. I'll put some blue and purple in here. Maybe just purple. I thought that was blue, but well, it's a royal purple, and this is a different color purple. So maybe it might all come out the same, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put it in there. I'll put some of the purple on top of my green. And I want to make sure that I've filled up enough that I can cover my whole piece of paper. So you might have to stop for a second and look at it and try to fill your whole piece of paper. Okay. Let me check. Have I got enough? And I think I got enough for what we're going to do. All right. So then I take my water and I spritz it. I'm not doing it hard, just enough to get it nice and wet. Got my computer wet there. All right. So I take my piece of paper and I lay it on top, just like that. You can actually see the paper soaking up the paint, the watercolor. Okay, let's smooth it out, rub it on, soak it up. Soak it all up. And I think it's soaked up as much as it will. You can see it coming through. Okay? And I'm going to peel it up. And there it is. And again, we get all this nice texture from the wrinkle, in the plastic bag, which really adds a nice, I really like that, nice texture to my paper. So I'm going to set this aside and let those dry. Okay, while I'm letting it dry, I'm going to clean up this mess that I made. So it's always good to clean as you go. Okay, and when I get done and clean this up, and then I will meet you in the next video. Okay?